So let's talk about how I got a ton of experience right after graduating dental school. Just to give you some numbers, I've placed over 500 implants this year, and I'm just starting my 3rd year out of dental school. Guys, I want to break down the steps so that I know you can get this information too. I'm doing really good numbers as a private practice dentist. And in this video, I want to break down the steps I took so that you can have an idea of how you may get to the goals that you have in your own mind. So today, there's no gatekeeping involved. Just the real deal on how you can level up in the fastest way possible. First things first, let's tackle the big question about if every dental student should be doing a residency. For me personally, I didn't do a residency, and let me explain why. You see, for some students, you may need some form of hand-holding. I've already made a ton of content about residency and my opinions on it, but for what I really think is that residency offers a D5 year, an extra year of hand-holding and learning that I didn't feel like I really needed. And honestly, I feel like most students don't really need. I just wanted to get into the real world and tackle everything that goes in front of me. Now, to be honest, there is this real fear inside all of us as graduation starts to approach. You're slowly finishing your requirements, and the thought of jumping into full-time private practice dentistry, 8 hours every single day, probably feels terrifying. Nobody really feels like they're ready to start working, me included. But here's the real truth. You don't need to feel ready. None of us did. And there's thousands and thousands of dentists who have done this without a residency too. Even my friends who went through residency felt burnt out after 6 months and realized that they should have entered private practice sooner. When they started that new job, they still had this shock period where it's overwhelming, it's fast paced, you're juggling multiple columns, and you're doing what a real private practice dentist has to do. So I think all new grads face that shock period anyways, and the residency just may shorten that time period. But trust me, you're going to feel some level of stress and uncertainty regardless. So really weigh your options out. Do you want that extra year in that controlled environment, or are you just ready to take the leap? Knowing if you want to or not wanting to do a residency is a big factor before you graduate school. So try to get as much experience as possible in school so you're able to take that leap when the time is right. And I'm gonna be honest, skipping that residency period, I think really helped me level up fast. I was doing cases that my colleagues in residency were shocked that I was doing. We all keep in touch where people post on Instagram or people just sending pictures of cases we're all doing. It was shocking to a lot of my peers the level of cases I was tackling that early on in my career. So really consider if you need that extra year of training. All right, the second tip that I feel has helped me level up really quickly was finding a high volume job. Now, these high volume jobs aren't exactly everywhere and abundant, but my thinking was the more patients I saw, the more I will learn. Simple as that. And on my first day of private practice work out of school, I did 30 extractions in the same day. Dental school gives you the basic information you need pretty much to not kill a patient. But you won't get the reps you need to be an excellent dentist if you just take a regular low volume job. See, so what I did was that I sought out high paying jobs in rural locations. Not because I love the countryside and I love to fish and drive with no shoes on, because I knew those jobs would throw me into the deep end. You see, in that situation, the volume of patients was extremely high. The patients were everywhere, the demand was huge, and I had to figure out things fast. Yes, it was intense, but my mindset was simple. I knew if I work hard now, my life later will be much, much easier. Why wait 5 years to feel comfortable doing implants when I can master it in 2? For me, that's lost income and lost opportunity if I wait. So I made it a priority to hustle hard in those early years. Was it easy? No. Was it worth it looking back at it now? Absolutely. Which brings me to my next point, and that's, what do you really want out of your career? Let's get a little personal now. I want to know what matters to you the most. Do you want to specialize? Then go all in. Overshadow the specialist. Don't half-ass this decision. Be sure that whatever specialty you pick, it's going to be something you want to do every single day for the rest of your career. Is earning a big salary a priority to you? Then start thinking strategically. High salaries are still possible, but they don't come as easy as they used to. You're going to have to make some sort of sacrifice to earn a high salary. Maybe that's moving to a rural area like I did. Maybe it's working 5 to 6 days a week in your first couple years. I was never expecting to do crowns and bridges all day in a cushy office and make big money immediately. I realized that competition is literally everywhere in the big cities. DSOs are growing. It's now harder than ever to become become a dentist and practice dentistry in America. For me, I was clear on my goals. I wanted both experience and money, so I went all in on those opportunities. I chose to work for a busy corporate office in rural Florida, and I got all the surgery experience I could have ever handled. With that experience, I was able to learn full arch implant cases. It was a grind, but it definitely accelerated my career in a way I really never thought was possible until I saw the end result. You know, had I chosen lifestyle right out of school, I don't think I would be the dentist I am today. Sure, I would have worked way less, my life would have been filled with maybe more fun, but I know I wouldn't have had the skill set I do now. I know I wouldn't have the grit and the determination to possibly open my own practice or lead a team of 15 people to do good work day in, day out, especially when things get really tough. I think future planning and creating vision boards is really important. And if you're watching this video, I ask you the question of what kind of dentist do you actually want to be? One of the coolest things about general dentistry is that it's a really versatile career. You can literally shape your destiny in any way you want it. You like surgery? Go deep into oral surgery as a GP. If you love working with kids, I've got friends making $400K a year doing pediatrics as general dentists. And if you're thinking about owning your own practice, start planning for that now. Learn how business and management works. What leadership skills do you need to run a practice effectively? It really isn't taught in your curriculums, but how do we create a practice that's profitable and it's a place where people want to come and work and build a product that's worth sharing to the world? I've learned that the best way to figure this stuff out is to reverse engineer your future. Picture where you want to be in 5 years and then start working backwards. What skills do you need to get there? Who do you need to start learning from now? You know, if you start answering these questions, you'll see your path much more clearly, and every step you take forward will come with more purpose. And now I wanted to share a little bit about my own personal journey and where I'm working towards next. For me, my next big goal is private practice ownership in Miami, and I want to do it within the year. I'm currently learning everything there is to know about practice acquisition, what makes a practice profitable, if it's a good purchase, learning how to market and scale a business, and everything else I'd possibly ever need to run a successful dental practice. And I'm not gonna lie, this is an extremely overwhelming task. I don't feel ready, but I also think none of us actually feel ready for these kinds of things. But it's the dream that brought me into dentistry. I wanted to be a private practice owner. I wanted to be the boss. I wanted to be the one in control of the team, and I wanted to be able to create a product that I'm happy to show to the rest of the world. And I feel like most of us got into dentistry with the same goal in mind. Don't you want to be your own boss and create something that's forever lasting? Being your own boss, doing good work, creating smiles that are everlasting and are among family members during their happiest moments, getting people out of pain, and having good Google reviews about your business to show that you're doing good things in the community and you're making an impact on the people around you. But at least this is a journey that I'm excited about. I'm looking forward to this next step in my life. Yeah, it's stressful, but it's all fun to me. And I'm really excited to bring you along on this journey. So I'm going to be documenting the entire process as I'm in search of that perfect practice. I'll break down what I see as a good deal, what's a bad deal, and everything in between. I want to share all of this information on this channel because I feel like I wish I had somebody to show me the same exact path. Why not share it with the rest of the world to learn from? And soon, this will all be a part of the dentist community that I'm about to launch. It's a place for new grads and dentists to come and learn together. We can be prepared for any obstacle coming our way. This goes from how to get into dental school to learn how to drill better, to finding a private practice to buy, how to manage that private practice, how to do the marketing, how to create your own social media presence. And all of this will soon be available on my school.com platform. This is going to be a community where everybody in dentistry can come together and think to create a better society for us individuals. Wrapping up this video, at the end of the day, this is your career. You get to decide how far you want to take it. You know, whether you're after private practice or you choose to do your residency, I'm not here to judge you. Whether you decide that you need more experience or you're looking for financial freedom, just know that there's not really any right way to do this. My journey is just one example. I hope it shows you that, if you stay hungry, you take some calculated risks, and you work really hard, you can fast track your success. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. Trust me. None of us did, but you're way more ready than you think. And if this video gave you any sort of clarity or got you fired up even just a little bit, I've got plenty more content for you to come as I walk you through my own personal journey of buying my own private practice, starting up the business, and scaling it to a really successful practice. I'll catch all y'all in the next one. Dr. Arana signing off.